Hello YouTube, it's me, it's Rut. I know you're probably wondering where I've been, as it's been like 2 Sundays that I haven't posted yet, in subsequent weeks, and that is due to a few reasons, some which I won't get into right now, but mainly because when you ask where I've been, I haven't been in the country. I've been in Africa for the last, I think, about 7 to 8 days, and currently here right now. Wasn't planning on making a video. Let me show this is the scenery currently. It's actually raining in the summertime. I don't know what you expected, but I did not expect to see rain in June, in August in Africa. But here we are right now. But yeah, I wasn't even gonna make a video while I was on the trip. I was gonna maybe I didn't know if I was, gonna try to work a vlog or something like that. I didn't know if that would really go into the type of YouTube videos I want to make. But special thank you to one of my good friends, Yama. He's inspiring this video today, and it feels good when people watch your stuff, watch your content and whatnot, and ask you to make and request you to make certain videos, because that's just motivation right there to where I feel like I should keep going, and I should keep, someone's listening out there. And so today we're going to be covering how to handle rejection. Now I should say, like, I don't want to put Yama's business out there or blast him or anything like that. Yama is a ladies' man, much just like myself. And so oftentimes in the past, we've gone out together and, we do our thing, when it comes to dating and whatnot and things of the sort. So, Yama, I wouldn't even say Yama in particular needs this video, but he did ask me to make this, I guess, for his, like, reassurance, I suppose, and for those who really could use this video out there, in terms of how you really should handle rejection. But I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be attempting to record this video right now if it wasn't for Yama to request me to make it. So I need to give my appreciation to Yama for even asking me to make this video and telling me to make it while I'm in Africa. So thanks to him. Now, I think we all get rejected with it in real life when if you're approaching a woman, or the rejection can happen in many ways. Rejection can happen in the long term, in terms of if someone, breaks up with you, if you are in a relationship with them or something of the sort. Rejection can happen if you just go try to approach a woman out in public, or a woman or a man, for the women out there who are listening, and they're not interested. And then the rejection can also happen in terms of outside of the dating perspective, in terms of just real life, where sometimes you might get rejected at work, you might get rejected in a friendship, and there are and these different scenarios are all part of the human experience. Nobody goes through life without getting rejected, so that should be one thing in mind. And so I guess because Yama asked me to make this video, for people like in me and Yama's cases who are attractive, and we pull women in the dating perspective at a high rate. You just need to understand that if you're like us, or if you deal with rejection just like at the average level of any attractive person, that not just like you don't find everyone else attractive, not everyone finds you attractive. And so on one hand, you could think of it as like a sign. It's almost a great thing if someone rejects you when they're not interested, because if they were to play games, because that skips the playing games part. Someone who's not interested in you and tells you that up front, and they can't play games with you, because you should not be sticking around trying to make them interested within you. So don't be, you should only go where your energy is appreciated. So if you were trying to conversate with a woman out at, in public, or out when you're just out on a Friday or Saturday night or whatever, at a restaurant, at a bar, whatever the case may be, if she isn't matching the energy, or if she isn't bringing something back into the conversation, or is seeming just as interested in you as you are to her, leave. You don't need to be there. That's not a place where you should be expending your energy or giving your attention to someone or your time to someone, because they're not going to give it back to you. And what's the point? Everything that we do in life, everything that we give in life, inherently helps us receive. So you should only be giving to people who can benefit or who can help you back in that aspect. So if someone rejects you, it's a great thing, because that person is no longer giving you the opportunity to expend towards them. So don't try to persist. Never try to convince someone to like you. Never try to persist or keep pursuing something that isn't immediately as interested as you are in that, as you are in them back. That's step one right there. But then I was also going to add that, attraction is, like I said, attraction is subjective. Attraction is not something that's universally agreed upon. So, just like you don't find every girl in this world attractive, You might be able to appreciate someone's beauty. You might be able to appreciate someone's attraction, but you might know that that's just not for you. For example, there are very few white women that I find attractive. And that's just because if I have a type based on characteristics or physical traits, call me a narcissist. I tell this to anyone who asks, but I like qualities that I have within the women that I'm seeing. So I have brown eyes. I like women with brown eyes. I have curly hair. I like women with curly hair typically. I like browner skin complexions and things of the sort. So to their natural, that's not to say that I don't find some white women attractive, or I can appreciate the fact that they are beautiful, but it's just not something that I would personally go for. And you need to understand that if you are someone who sees things like that, other people are going to see it the same way, and they can appreciate your attraction or the pleasant qualities that you have of yourself, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what they're going for. And that just comes down to personal preference at the end of the day. There's nothing you can control about that. You can't control the ethnicity you were born within, how tall you are, the texture of your hair, the color of your eyes. Take it in stride. Take it in stride and just understand that it's not something personal. It's not something that you can improve on necessarily to where someone else would, to something better that you could do. Some people just like people with blue eyes and blonde hair, and I'm not the person for them, and I don't waste my time around them. That's okay. You know how many, there are 8 billion people in this world. About half of them are women. That gives you 4 billion women to work with, and that's way more women than you'll ever need to. So never waste your time. Never waste too much time on one person that's not matching the energy back. Also, don't mind the spill on my shirt. I'm just now noticing it. I think I just shaved. I'm in Africa with no shaving cream, so mind the haphazard shaving job. This is not lined up by any means, but we make it shake however we can. So don't mind this. This is just some excess water from washing my neck and whatnot. But then just to give some advice on dealing with rejection when you are in a social setting full of people, if you're at an event or something of the sort, where you might feel inclined to approach more than just one woman at whatever environment that you're in. Never let someone see that you've been rejected. And what I mean by that is, chances are, if you get into a social space, you get into an environment, there are going to be, and people are looking to meet new people that they don't know and interact with people outside of their friend group, chances are that no matter who you are, there's going to be someone that finds something attractive within you, within what they can see. We all know that when women are attracted to someone, most of the time the way that they show it is by staring at you. They're hoping that you make eye contact with them, and that is your indicate. And if they do it a couple times, that's normally the indication that they're interested in you or they want you to come talk to them, because they're giving you their intention. They're looking at you. They're choosing to look at you, and they could have looked at anything in the room. So I say that to say, if you approach someone and you get rejected, chances are that they probably weren't the ones that were giving you that sign of mutual interest or the encouraging action to come talk to them. But you do have this girl in the corner over there that's still interested within you and still looking at you. If you go have a conversation with a woman and you get rejected, don't go back. If you're out with your friends or whatever, don't stomp back to your friends don't stomp back to your friends and be like, and have this look of disappointment or make it obvious that you've been rejected. This is something like this is just like a kind of more of a strategy thing, I would say, from being within the field for so long. But don't make it obvious that you've been rejected, because you can by far easily have a conversation with someone without it being something where you ask for a number or you display interest or anything like that, to where you can just have a platonic conversation with someone and walk off, and it doesn't have to look like it was either you tried to approach them or you either succeeded or didn't succeed. So take your rejection with grace and stride and walk back to wherever your meetup point is or wherever you were going after, because you shouldn't be hanging around someone that doesn't want to be around you, but don't make it obvious that you've been rejected. And that is because in a lot of cases, in my anecdotal experience, and I'm sure other people will tell you the same thing, women I don't like to generalize between genders or between any mass group of people, but women in general, if I was to generalize, they typically go for guys. They like men that are sought after by other women, because that in form is sort of it's almost a sign of validation or a green flag that other women want you. So then they want to win. They want to beat out on other women in terms of, they want to say they beat out other women in terms of having you, if you are someone who's attracted to multiple people. So, by you making it obvious that you got rejected, it's not really going to help your case when it comes to the woman that's actually interested within you. If you go conversate with her later on in the night when you notice her, or when she notices you, or however that goes. So don't make it obvious that you've been rejected. Don't have this look of defeat on your face or anything like that. Take that within stride and keep pushing. If anything, that girl should feel like it doesn't matter what that girl thinks, but she should not know. It's not going to be beneficial for you to make it obvious to her once she's watching you that you've been rejected by the girl that you did try to go up to, because that's not something that's going to make her even more attracted to you. Now, on the flip side of that, what's funny is there's a number of women that I've pulled because they didn't find me attractive initially at first, but they saw me, maybe they were within a friend group, or they frequented at places that I frequented at, and they saw me consistently with other women that they consistently saw me with different women different attractive women of what sort, and they ended up becoming attracted to me because they've ended up finding something interesting. They ended up taking an interest within me because they started thinking in the back of their minds, why does he always has a pretty girl with him? That makes them start thinking. That's almost a green flag of like social validation, to where they don't have to be necessarily attracted to you on the instantaneous approach or an instantaneous look, but they can start to find an interest within you and find something of attraction with you if you are consistently around them with other pretty women. And that would be because, and that would only be the only reason that would happen is because you don't care too much about that girl who is not giving you the energy and interest off her anyway. So why would you care to, not be around women around her? Or why would you care to, like, she wouldn't be interested in you in the beginning, so why would I not be bringing other women around her? These women that I'm bringing around are interested with me off rip. So, when having girls gets you more girls. That's, when you get to that point, you understand. And then with the last part of this being rejection within the long term, I'll save rejection in interpersonal relationships like friendships or work networking and stuff for another video. But if I ever get around to making that, but on the flip side of that, rejection within the long term, as in like being, maybe being in a talking stage or being talking to someone that talking to someone for a longer term, for a few months, for a few years, even a long-term relationship, and you get dumped or something of the sort. You should understand, and this is one clip that I saw this originally being said by Goldie. I believe that's his name. I saw a clip on Instagram of him saying this, and I thoroughly agree with this. But I don't think that, so people who let themselves go in relationships in terms of they get into a relationship and they start getting lazy. Maybe they were hitting the gym consistently before that. They stopped doing that. Maybe you don't study so hard if you're in college because you want to spend so much time with your significant other. Now your grades go down, if you're in college. Or some people end up getting laid off of their job because they prioritize the relationship that they're in and they let that take over the other priorities of their life. Or maybe you start eating less healthy because you're always going out to dinner with this girl that you're spending time with. These things do not help improve you as a person in your life. So you should never be the person in a relationship. And it's a damn shame that so many people are this person, or this occurs to so many people, men and women, to where you should consistently, a relationship should not get between you consistently bettering yourself and creating new goals that you can achieve and strive within. So if you're consistently bettering yourself while you're in a relationship or while you're talking to someone or whatever it is of the sort, you should understand that you are not at the same level you were 2 or 3 months ago. You should have gained 2 or 3 months, 2 or 3 years, 6 months, whatever period of time. If you're getting 1% better every single day, as you should be. So the girl that you pulled 2 or 3 or 4 months ago or 6 months ago, whatever, that, just stopped talking to you for whatever reason or felt like you guys didn't line up or connect or whatever, you should not be that worried about that, because that just means that you are now capable of pulling a even more qualified woman now that you're out of this relationship, or now that you're out of whatever you were in to begin with. So if you look at rejection from a point, if you are doing the things that you're doing to keep yourself healthy and to get better every single day in some capacity, whether that's mentally or physically or financially, you are now better suited to pull a better woman than the one that just rejected you. So when you think about it like that, it's just about going and finding the next one. Ball up top, as they say. So, yeah, Yama, I hope that Yama, first of all, thank you for making me make this video. I didn't expect that I'd be dropping a video while I was in Africa, or even creating one. But, and then to those out there who might qualify to listen to this and gain something from it, I hope that some of this made sense and whatnot. But yeah, I hope that you could take something from this video. Yeah, thank you for tuning in.